Hi, guys, good evening, and welcome back once again to another episode review here on the EdWord. And in tonight's video, I will be discussing what I thought of the latest. And seriously, and I know I've said this before in other videos, but this was by far the greatest episode in terms of quality, story, and acting and twists and turns. This was the best episode of Into the Dark. Welcome to my spoiler-filled episode review of the latest episode, Into the Dark, called Down. Now, this is going to be a spoiler-filled episode review, so again, if you've not seen this episode yet, do not keep watching or listening, as I will be making referring to it with constant spoilers and whatnot. So once again, you have been warned. Do not keep watching or listening if you haven't seen Down and you would like to. That being said, this was the best episode by far. And I enjoyed The Body, which was the Halloween series premiere episode. I also enjoyed Flesh and Blood, the Thanksgiving episode with the father and the daughter. And it becomes like a cat and mouse game of is he a killer or not? You know, I enjoyed those two episodes a lot, and I liked the other two. But this one, Down, this was the best. It was lacking a supernatural element, but it didn't need it because it had all the creepiness of a love interest gone wrong or gone awry, and it had blood splatter effects and gore and like shocking reveals and an interesting premise. It became a struggle for survival in a confined space. I mean, what a great idea. So you guys saw it. The gist of it was these two people are trapped together in an elevator in an office building right before a long holiday weekend, which is like close to Valentine's Day and President's Day. They get stuck in this elevator. It's a man and a woman. They eventually bond. They get along just fine. And that bonding leads to some sexual tension. And the sexual tension leads to sexual arousal. And then they screw. And then the truth comes out that this woman intends to reconnect with her ex-fiance. And this was just a casual fling between her and this guy. And then he slowly starts to unravel and unhinge. And he reveals that he's not the office worker that he claimed to be. And I was immediately suspicious this guy had something to do with the elevator going down, because I'm like, well, where's the security guard? I mean, nobody else would know the elevator got stopped except the security guard working the security desk. They would have cameras in there. They should be able to see what's going on in there. Where's the guard? Like, I was thinking, did this guy murder the guard and then just somehow trap himself and this poor woman in the elevator together? But it turns out this guy didn't kill anybody, at least not yet. He was the security guard, and he was so desperate and wanted to meet this woman he had become enamored with. He had forced the two of them to get stuck together in this elevator to bond and meet each other, to talk, to get to know one another, and then ultimately fuck. And then he thought when they would get rescued that they would start this new relationship together, but that was not the case. Like, this was another great example of holiday horror, where you take a holiday like Valentine's Day, which is supposed to be about love, and you turn it into something really ghastly. But this was great. This was an excellent episode. The two actors did a phenomenal job. The story was really interesting. I mean, it became it became one of the steamier episodes of this season. But the sexual tension and the sexiness of this, kind of immediately died down when the guy slowly starts to unravel and reveals to this woman that he, basically orchestrated this whole thing, and she realizes that she's now trapped with a psychopath. Because at first, he turned the key in, and the elevator started moving, and then they struggled, and then she accidentally breaks the key, so now they truly are trapped, and he's just going completely nuts. They assault each other from time to time, and now they also kind of have to rely on each other to get out of there. But once she was free of him, she just flips him off and climbs up the ladder, and you're just rooting for her to get scot-free. And fortunately she does. But for a while there, I thought, damn, is this guy gonna get away with it? Because he smashed her phone with his confession on it, and now he's killed one of his other fellow guards and his girlfriend. He's cleaned up the crime scene, deleted all the footage off of the security computer that would have been taken from the elevator from when they were trapped in there. And now it looks like he's going to burn this girl's body. But as soon as he opened the trunk, it was very reminiscent of the scene, and this is a spoiler, by the way, from the movie Get Out. Right when he's right when he's throwing her bag and her purse in the dumpster before throwing her body in, she appears right behind him, and it's very reminiscent of the scene from Get Out when Chris escapes from the chair that he's tied to. He grabs one of those pool balls and smacks the kid with it, and then he makes his grand escape. Which is like the big highlight of that movie for me. And, because this is also a Blumhouse production show, Into the Dark, it wouldn't surprise me if they, took some inspiration from that. And sure enough, there she is standing right behind him. And she basically knocks him down with the gas can, and she's about to leave him there, but then she's like, no, screw this guy's a dick, and she backs up, probably with the intent to slam him into the dumpster, but he jumps in, and then for a while there, I'm like, okay, he's impaled, he's obviously not going to make it. Is she just going to leave him there to rot in the dumpster? No, she knew he had poured all that gasoline in there. She's not going to let it go to waste. And sure enough, using the cigar he was taunting her with earlier, she flicks it in there and just lets him light up. And it's a great, satisfying ending. She gets away. Our heroine gets away, saves the day by stopping the crazy murderer, and drives off. And that's how it ends. And this was just... this episode was just so well done. Like, if they could get this same writer or director to do, like, the rest of the season or the next couple of episodes, I would be so on board for it, because this was great. They took a really interesting premise, because what made this episode so good is that they took a premise. It's like a premise you would see in a romance comedy, where a man and a woman are trapped in an elevator. They tease, they flirt, they get to know one another, and then they're eventually rescued, but then the relationship builds over the course of that movie. In this case, it becomes a story of survival, of entrapment, and then eventually becomes a story of murder and bloodshed, and then the crazy things people will do for love. And I just love how they put this holiday horror twist on a premise that you would see in any romantic comedy or romantic drama, basically. So well done, Into the Dark. Well done, Blumhouse, Hulu, Jason Blum, everybody, the two leads in the show. Everybody did a great job. So I really, really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys did too. So what did you think of this episode? Did you like it, love it? Do you agree this is the best episode yet, or do you have another favorite? I want to hear your thoughts. Sound off down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear from everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of the night. Don't forget to catch an all-new episode of Into the Dark, premiering the first Friday of every month for the rest of the year. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great night. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.